All right, we're coming towards late January. And for some people, we felt so overwhelmed early on in 2024 that we just couldn't do the look ahead or planning resolutions, whatever you want to call it. Some people have already given up on their resolutions by now. But I want to encourage you as we enter episode 95, we are going to learn how to make 2024 the best for your health, your wealth, and the courage to love yourself. Hello. Wouldn't that be great? I am just going to preview a little bit about who's coming up. I've already interviewed them, and you are not going to want to miss the upcoming episodes. And are you seeking health, wealth, or courage and love in 2024? My upcoming guests are going to be presenting simple solutions to prevent or overcome being blindsided situations. And after 2023, I think many of us struggled and faced fears related to health, finances, relationship. And here's where I'm hoping you're going to find encouragement. And I can even, if I'm just speaking to myself, great. You might notice I've got a shoebox back there. I've got a couple sticky notes around. If you're catching this over on YouTube, you can see that I try to show up real and provide some discussions. So I am going to talk about who you can meet, know, and trust support you through life when you get those big curveballs. And ask yourself these questions in order to move forward. Who am I listening to? And who do I need to stop listening to for this next, whether it's a week, a month, or a year? And if you're going to reflect back on what went well for you in 2023, that might be helpful. And also, what didn't go well? What do you need to maybe shift a little to do something a little bit differently? I'll talk a little bit about what I learned about myself in 2023 and the one next best step that you can take today for you. All right, are you ready? Let's go. All right, well, how was 2023 for you? Take just a moment to look back. And what I usually do is I look at my calendar and I kind of go through it and I check out and see, okay, did I make my healthcare appointments, my annual physical for women, annual mammogram, maybe a DEXA bone scan? Did I get my checkup with the gynecologist? Because we do need to check in no matter what your age is, because they are going to be the ones that are going to help identify if something is not quite right. Sometimes you can celebrate. Hey, look what I did for myself. And I'll share a couple quick ones for me. In 2023, I faced some major, major fears. Some of it was, am I able to speak up for myself in really difficult and delicate situations? Am I able to disagree with someone without blowing up at them? I had to give myself a couple of talkings to this year. How am I showing up for myself in these situations? And is this the person I want to be? One of my mentors is Brendan Burchard over in Growth Day. And he kind of talks about this of, am I going to be the kind of person that blows up quickly in a situation? Am I going to be the kind of person that takes a minute, takes a deep breath, pauses, and really considers what I'm about to say? And honestly, this isn't too different than the contemplative prayer work that I've done at my workshops, where we're just learning how to slow down and how to take a minute. So, coming up for the next episode after this one, it should be 96, you are going to get to meet Andy Wren. And she is I hope I get this right. I'm going to check over on my notes just to see if I've got it. She is a certified financial counselor. I think that's the right term. I might have that wrong, so I'll check that out. But Andy knows all about getting blindsided with finances. And there are some really key aspects that you're going to want to tune into. And she offers so much training. She writes the training manuals for a lot of financial counselors, financial planners, I think accredited financial counselor. I think that's the term. So you're not going to want to miss that one. Then in episode 97 coming up, I have this amazing Mary Hart is her name. And she is an attorney turned real estate and estate planning professional. She's bringing together women for masterminds where they can learn these techniques and strategies to have financial independence. I mean, wouldn't that sound great if you could feel more confident in your financial choices and someone who knows the legal background, the estate planning background, and has had the success in real estate investments to have that greater independence? And I think you're really going to love her. Then I think we're on to 98, and you are going to get to talk to Emily Barclay, who is the founder of the Perimenopause Hub. And she's about to release, she's actually released already her book, and it's called The A to Zen of Perimenopause. And A to Z, the A to Z is kind of the standard London. The A to Z is how you find your way around. And it's got all these maps. And it was a book that we used to carry around in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. But now with the internet, we don't use that as much. And I'm coming up closely on episode 100. I can't believe it. Can you celebrate with me? In fact, I will go ahead and ask you, before I tell you the one next best step you should take this year, I'm going to ask you, as soon as you're done with this, would you consider sponsoring an episode? Would you write a review or share this episode with someone? That would be super helpful. In the show notes, I'm going to have the easy links, how you can connect with me. LinkedIn, my link tree on there, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. All right. And also, I always include the links to watch because some of us are listeners and some of us like to be able to see the person and see facial expressions. I personally am very expressive with my face for sure. So how do you know when it comes to January, what is your one next best step that you should take today just for you? And when I think about that, I can't fully answer that question for you, but I can ask you a few questions to consider. What is the one area of what we've been talking about today, your health, your wealth, your relationships, or your courage to love yourself? And if it's your health, I've got a couple quick tips. How's your water drinking? Do you have water near you? I'll stop and take a sip because that is a quick, easy thing. Just start small. Is it movement? Is movement hard for you to do? Do you need a friend to go with you? Do you need a friend to talk to on the phone or in your earbuds or in your Beats while you're outside? Do you need to meet a friend at the gym? If it's freezing like it is for us in Colorado, then I find much more success. And here's what I learned about my health as I was starting to really double down and say, no one is going to come along and exercise for me. It's the truth. So I started out taking Zumba. I thought, okay, there'll be music. I'll laugh at myself a lot. But I was so uncoordinated that I was laughing more than I was getting the fitness benefit. So I started in with bar, Pilates, some abs and glutes work. And I find that that's really helping me get the stability I need. And as an occupational therapy professional, we want stability first and then mobility. So when you are thinking about your next best step, if it's water, are you hydrating? If it's movement, what do you need to do in order to get there? If it is wealth, and that might sound strange because a lot of us have poverty mindset and it's like, well, I don't consider myself wealthy. And I know many wealthy people who do not consider themselves wealthy. But I heard Natalie Ellis say that wealth is defined as the freedom of time with your greatest health. So if you can have enough money that you have the freedom of time in good health to do what you want. And for some of us, the barrier is courage. I know for me, I allowed fear to hold me back a lot in my life. And many people look at me or listen to me and they just say, "Oh, Hillary, you're not afraid of anything." Well, we should probably schedule a Zoom chat or a Calendly, a little call, so that you can hear the realities of it. I'm going to end on this. If you need support in your health, your wealth, the courage to love yourself, then let's have a conversation. I am finally opening the membership of Community Bloom again, the Women's Midlife Network. I'm re-engaging and I'm keeping it super simple. Once a month, that's what you sign up for. A once a month meeting. Can you imagine? Connecting with women who just need support, just need to know that they're not alone. And if we get the groups too big, then we'll realize, okay, some women might just want to meet to connect and it doesn't matter what they talk about. Some women might prefer to dig a little deeper with their entrepreneurial journey as a solopreneur, as a business owner. What is it that you need? So let's connect. And I will remind you, who are you going to share this episode with today? Will you write a review? Are you a Spotify person? I did learn that Google Podcasts is going away, but I don't know how many people use those anyway. And if you'd like to sponsor an episode and I can give you a promotion for whatever your project is, then please reach out.